Excuse me! Taxi!
Come on, what are you doing? This is the 77 WABC minicast.
I understand, John, we have with us now Lara Trump, of course, host of My View with Lara Trump every Saturday night. You can tune in there on Fox News Channel. Lara, this week has been a wild week, and especially with Minneapolis. I couldn't believe this, Lara, that we were seeing reports they want to set up, these citizens there want to set up 1,000 barricades to say, okay, can you come through checkpoints? Are you ICE or are you not ICE? I mean, this is anarchy. How can you survive like this?
Yeah, well, this is what happens whenever you have the radicals take over a party, because they have fed this nonsense and, quite frankly, lies to the people who follow them. And now you see the results of that. Instead of a, very standard, safe law enforcement operation like we've seen conducted in every other part of the country, there in Minnesota, it has been complete pandemonium because the leaders there have fueled all of this chaos and all of this aggression towards.
Laura, I think we just lost you. Are you there? Hold on. I think we just lost her. Maybe it was.
I think some demonstrators got a hold of Laura.
I think so too. Gov, I was just thinking the same thing. Sitting there talking about, here's what I think. By the way, they arrested a big anarchist, today too. One of these guys who says he was one of the, leaders of Antifa. I understand we got Lara back. Lara, take it away.
It must be Democrats trying to interfere on our
Absolutely.
Exactly right. That's what we just said. That's so funny.
But this is the problem whenever you have bad leadership and they put out lies and false information. It is dangerous not only to these ICE agents who we know have for the past year been attacked relentlessly. They've been characterized as horrific things. And now, the people there in Minnesota are actually working against themselves. It's almost, common sense. You want to see it come back so desperately because this is so antithetical to anything that will help anyone, especially the citizens there in Minnesota. So unfortunately, I don't think this is the end of it. You have the radicals that have taken over most of the Democrat Party at this point, and this is sort of what they stand for. They're anti-law enforcement, they're anti-ICE, they want to disrupt, they want to cause chaos, and they're apparently fine with murderers, rapists, and pedophiles running around their streets.
Yeah, and that's the scary thing. They, as you know all too well, Tom Homan, the border czar, sent there by your father-in-law, and Tom is great, as is the president. And so he goes in and says, okay, we're going to draw down 700 officers. And yet right away, Jacob Fry, the mayor of Minneapolis, comes out and says, no, we want ICE out. Like, they don't even seem to want to be bending. I'm all for a dialogue. And I think you can always look back and say, hey, there's something I would do different or whatever. But they just seem, it's like no way or the highway it seems like with Jacob Fry and also with the governor there too.
Yeah, and you have to have a little bit of give, Rita, to your point. You can't just say point blank, ICE has to get out of here. ICE has been around everywhere in America for decades now. They had a footprint there in Minnesota well before Donald Trump became the 47th president. Unfortunately, because of this rhetoric, because everybody is at such a heightened state right now they're saying crazy things like they have to get out. And whenever Tom Homan goes in and says, listen, I'm willing to negotiate, I'm willing to work with you guys, we understand that there are a lot of people of the situation because we have to protect our law enforcement officers. They have to have their own protection. But when they're not willing to even engage in a back and forth, it seems very anti-American. Our country was founded on the sharing of ideas and coming together. And unfortunately, it seems like they're putting their foot down. And again, it is so sad because it is going to make their communities less safe. You're going to see people leaving Minnesota. I interviewed last week on my show 2 Minneapolis residents who say this is the first time they've ever thought about actually leaving the city because they can't live like this.
Absolutely.
I mean, who are these people that are forming all these picket lines, and who are the people forming the car?
The checkpoints you're talking about. Yeah. Right. The barricades. I mean, it is. It's like, they seem to be hired in.
They don't have a regular job? Who's paying them?
Right.
Well,
great
when
question.
you go out there, John, when you go out there and you see some of these independent journalists who have done this, they go out and they ask these people, why aren't you at work? They say, well, this is work for me. I'm getting paid to be here. So there's the answer to your question. And I think the real question is, who is at the bottom of funding all of this? Who is actually perpetuating all of this chaos in our country? Who's making it unsafe for our law enforcement operations, making it unsafe for citizens in, cities like Minneapolis? Who is at the root of what has been going on here? And that's the
Lara,
person or people who need to be ultimately held accountable.
I will give you the answer. If there's hundreds of billions of dollars missing, and that was front page news, why not spend a few $1 million creating different news and putting that on the front page, so that couple of $1 million you spend on picketers and
absolutely,
then the $1 billion, then if you win the election in November, everybody's going to forget about the billions of dollars missing.
Yep. They want everybody to look the other way from the fraud that has gone on in the state of Minnesota. And by the way, there's a task force now at the FBI or at the Department of Justice. It is specifically to root out all of this fraud. They say that they're going all over Minnesota. Think about California. They're going all across the country. And you're right, John. They don't want people paying attention to that. They don't want to answer to the rest of the country. The taxpayer money that was stolen, we know about $9 billion of it so far. I imagine there's probably a lot more.
And if they could win in November, guess what? They'll start impeaching the president, impeaching everybody, and it all goes away. They stole the hundreds of billions of dollars, and nobody goes after them.
Yep. Well, that's why we have to be vigilant as we head towards November. That's why we can't sit back and say, oh, you know what, it's a midterm election year. It's not that important. The president is still in the White House. You're exactly right. Yes. Day one, they will start the move to impeach the president. They're going to do that every second they possibly can.
Yes.
Day one, they're going to give D.C. and Puerto Rico statehood. They're going to pack the Supreme Court, and they're going to eliminate the filibuster so that they have the ability to rule without checks in perpetuity, basically, as on the Democrat side. And when you see how crazy they've gotten and these things happening, it's terrifying.
They'll break the country because, we'll have to start playing the other song instead of Happy Days Are Here Again. We're on the eve of destruction.
Yes, we don't want to play that one.
Yes.
We want Happy Days to be here again.
We do. Hey, Laura, before we can let you go.
The stock market hit 50,113 today.
That's a good day. That's a great day. Hey, Laura, what do you have on Saturday night on My View with Lara Trump before we let you go? You always have such great stuff.
Well, we have Catherine Burgum, who is Doug Burgum, our Interior Secretary's wife. She has just started working with the administration to basically kind of take all of the stigma out of addiction. She herself has struggled with addiction and substance abuse in the past, and she is very open about it. And she has this new task force. She's working alongside the president to try to help Americans all across the country. 48 million Americans suffer from addiction, and this is something she's very passionate about. She's telling us her story, which is fascinating, and how they plan to actually change things on this front because it's been devastating to so many families out there. I have MMA fighter Leah McCourt. She's actually Irish by birth, but she's part of the UFC. Obviously, we're all excited about what Dana White has in store on the White House lawn this coming 250th birthday this summer for America. She's talking about that, but her story as well, and actually doing a little jujitsu with me, of all things. We have Senator Barrasso and Congressman Emmer who are talking about this fight that we're going to see play out on Capitol Hill for DHS funding, because we know that although we've got 96% or so of the government funded, there is that 4% for DHS that is still lingering out there that the Democrats are trying to hold over America's head, and why that is so important, especially this coming year and with all these things going on. So I'm excited to see everybody 9 p.m. tomorrow night on Fox News. I'll see you there.
Awesome. We can't wait. We will. Laura, thank you. You always have such great stuff. Thank you so much.
You got it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. We will be tuning in, and everybody else on My View with Lara Trump.